The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
All right, now.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to Our Style Kamikaze. Your
You came
Saturday...
back for some reason. Why?
Hey, you.
Stop giving us views. The
Hey,
more we
you.
get views, the more we're going to do this show.
Oh my gosh, it's just because you're nervous.
Yeah.
Man up. Jeez. I mean, golly.
That's sexist. We're going to get canceled.
All right, then woman up. How's that? Does that work? No?
I don't
They up? Is that what we go through?
That's inclusive. That works.
There you go. They up, man.
They up.
Or person.
Oh, there he did it again.
Damn. Crap. Freaking screw that up. Anyway, I'm C. Michael Lanning, independent artist. Done work for Hasm Productions, Arrow Comics. Some upcoming stuff, including what have I done? I've done some stuff. Doghouse, yeah, but that's Hasm Productions. So.
Oh, that does count. Yeah.
What have you done? Tell me who you are. I have never seen you before. What are you doing in my house?
Because I live here. Yeah, we're related. I think, unless Mom wants to tell me something. I'm Jaden Lanning.
We're keeping it a secret.
But you already know that.
What have you done, Jaden?
Covers. I do freelance work. You can find me on Facebook, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But most of all, I'm his daughter.
Oh, wow. Look, you're a Nepo baby. You realize that, right?
Yes.
You know, what gets me is that people are calling that, okay, so they're like the whole Hollywood thing, right? Let's take a minute to think about this. Oh, the Nepo baby, right? And Sean Astin. You know who Sean Astin is?
I'm going to pretend I do.
Okay. Sean Astin, for us old folks, was in like The Goonies and Encino Man. For you, he was Sam Gamgee in Lord of the Rings.
No freaking clue. You have no idea.
You see, you won't watch Lord of the Rings.
I will, but no one wants. No, you'll have to explain some stuff to me. Then.
All right. Well,
So Sean,
we failed.
You did. You did. I'm not a true nerd.
Okay. Anyway, but he said he doesn't have a problem with being a Nepo baby. He was his stepfather was Gomez Adams. The 60s Adams family.
Oh, yes.
Come on, you know
Gomez.
That one. Okay, thank you. But not the one you grew up with. And definitely not the one now. No. Well, no, John Astin was a cool Gomez Adams. Raul Julia was more accurate Gomez Adams. And then there's
my goal is to get him so off point that we forget what we were talking about.
I never forget. I always come back to it. I always come back to it.
I always come back.
Look, Mike's in the
freaking William Afton. No one's gonna get that. I'm so sorry.
William Afton? They might now, right?
I hope.
After Friday Nights at Freddy's? They'll just be like, why are you referencing that shitty movie?
I won't watch Lord of the Rings. You guys don't know what FNAF is. It's fair. We're equal now.
I don't think that's not how it works.
It's a fair exchange.
Anyway, Mike said the chat. Hey, Mike, he says, right on. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing better this week. Physically.
Mentally.
Well,
no.
you know.
Always. But I feel better. Ish.
Feel better-ish? Yeah. Tonight we're going to be talking about concept art. I'm kind of letting some time get on because sometimes
people don't.
It takes a little while for people to see the notifications.
Slow.
No, because Facebook is slow. Please don't kick us off Facebook.
Please, Zuck. Please, I'll do anything.
Zuck, you are the man. I like to say Zuck it.
Oh.
Wait.
No, they don't.
No.
That's what we would do.
Should I take that back? Take that back. Anyway, but you have the Nepo baby, and what gets me about this is sure that might come into play. Obviously, I don't think that applies to everybody.
You don't think it's like one big Hollywood family?
Oh no, it's straight up freaking incest as bad as freaking royal family. But if you think about it, it's kind of like carrying on their parents'
Legacy?
job, whatever. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess.
there's a lot of kids. It's not just
Well, yeah,
Hollywood
I mean,
that go into their parents'
That's
business.
true. That's absolutely true. Like
You know?
how I'm gonna make up for your failed artistry. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I love you.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm just gonna take your name and all of the fame that you build.
Is that what it
Yeah.
is? I think I'm going to take your name and all the fame you're building, if
That's
I'm not
not-
mistaken.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, you work way
Yeah.
faster than me. There's no
Miss-
way.
I'm lining up commissions, stacking them up.
It's all the same person.
Golly.
A very
So-
generous person.
So last week we looked at production design, which was really kind of interesting. Or production, production set designs
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Usually that comes out of a
Movie.
Concept.
Sorry, wait, that's what we were getting at.
Yes.
Yes, that was the point of the stream.
I think you knew where I was going with that, and you just decided to take it a
What?
different way.
No.
I think you did.
No.
Yeah, you did. So anyway, so tonight you found the website because if there's any problems tonight, we're going to blame my dear daughter
Hey.
because she's the one that found the concept art. Now, what is this site that we're going to look at?
I don't even. It's Imag.
A mag,
I don't know what it's called.
or is it a mag or image?
I thought it was Image. They're very fancy.
I like image better. A mag is good.
A mag. That doesn't.
It sounds dirty,
It
doesn't
does.
it?
It doesn't. Sound...
Image.
Vagina.
Image.
I'm sorry.
Imagina.
Imagina.
Oh, the Imagina site.
It's some kind of I did not get to gauge it entirely because I really did rush finding this stuff.
Oh wow!
I just like
Don't
looking
admit
at
that
the
shit
pretty
live.
art. I like looking
Don't
at the pretty
admit that
art. I
shit
don't know how
live.
to
What are you
read.
doing? That's like radio podcast 101.
You
Don't admit your
sources?
failures.
Yeah,
Hell no,
that's true.
Yeah,
Gatekeep.
that's right.
Gatekeep.
I don't
gaslight
admit
girl
that I have
boss.
3 other children besides you. I don't admit my
Well,
failures
you
live.
just, hey.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. They're not listening. Hey, son. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, so I
no, they'll be doing this before it's over with too. So
Yeah.
I keep trying to kick you people out of my field of work because I don't want to compete. You understand?
compete.
In fact, I'm going to have you kids sign a non-compete form from now on. Stay in my house.
Well, maybe like hire us. Make it a
I'm not
family
even-
business.
I'm not even sure if that's a non-compete.
I
Is
don't
actually
Make
that,
it a thing
if that
if
fits
you
in
have to. For jealous parents only.
or be the Partridge Family. You have no idea what that is.
No clue.
I barely know either because it's still before my time. Anyway, so when I think of concept art, the first thing that comes to mind with concept art is like machinery, and I guess it's because of previous concept art that I've seen.
Yeah.
And we're looking at concept art for movies specifically right now, right?
Yeah, that's all I can find.
All right. Now every franchise movie, blah blah blah, has what's called a Bible.
It does.
It does, right?
I just found this out.
Like a satanic Bible, right?
Oh, cool.
Because it's Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. So
Right.
they drink baby blood
Yes.
in smoothies.
It's Smoothie King has a baby blood special.
No way. That must be on the
Yes,
secret menu I've been
absolutely.
hearing about.
It's very secret.
Do you have to supply the ingredients or do they just have that on hand?
I think they have a storage of babies in the back. I'm not positive, but maybe.
Planned Parenthood.
This
don't
has
know.
gotten
You know
really
what I mean?
diminished.
Yeah, maybe.
This is a
They can
totally
handle it.
this is a totally
They're big
different type.
kids.
This is the totally different type of
We've
art
gotten
style.
into like Pizzagate conspiracy now. What happened?
Wow. No.
Get off my
Am
channel.
I allowed to say that? Wait, we might get shot for that. Hold on.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Okay, what we're going to do is this. Last week, we had a moments with an NFT collector set up.
Yes, we did.
It's the third part
In the series.
in a 4-part series because I haven't. So I'm going to go ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play that now.
Oh, okay.
And then when we come back, we're going to start looking at some concept art because guess what? What you know about concept art? I don't know about concept art. What you know about concept art?
It's not
It's
going to
good.
happen. It's not.
It can happen.
Fetch isn't going to happen.
Like there's going to be anybody who understands that.
They better. They're cool.
See, Mike says moments with the NFT collector is always a delight to watch.
Oh,
There we go. So enjoy this week's moments with the NFT collector. Continuing on from the past couple ones, and we'll be right back. Moments with an NFT collector. I'm really starting to see how come you got scammed. This was from Mark. Love your artwork. It's outlandish and fantabulous. Do you have any ongoing sale? Your art are really attractive to me and would love to purchase some. Send me a DM so we can negotiate. That look familiar? Same thing you said to me. A different scammer? You're either not original or it's you. Should I just call you Mark? Or maybe I'm the Mark. Who's Mark? You tell me. You have very similar ways of describing artwork. There is a difference. That's how to describe artwork. I told earlier that there are lots of scammers on the gram. No one uses fantabulous. Is that the best you can come up with? On the gram? Really? You're so hip and cool, Mark. I'm not Mark. Who's Mark? The one who talks just like you. I do not know him. Maybe he's copying me. I can't tell. So do you do this a lot to get copied? I'm literally confused. Because I do not know where all this is coming from. Well, I can't force you to do business with me. Your choice. Bye. Oh boy, I win! Nah. I'm just not caught up for argument. Exactly. I win. You gave up. Okay. It is now. This has been Moments with an NFT Collector. So next week we're gonna come back, and I felt like I left that off on the wrong spot. So I decided to talk. I contacted them back.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So it continues?
Well, this is the one that I actually ended up forcing to
Oh
delete
my
their profile.
gosh.
And you think, oh, this is cruel and blah, 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 blah. Look, yesterday I got 2 notices from 2 different people with the same thing. Now it's they want to purchase your artworks, but not as NFT collectors.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, the game is afoot.
Ooh.
So,
That was some playground fist fight stuff right there.
There you go. So anyway, so back to the thing. This is what we're here for. We're at Art Style. Here at Art Style Kamikaze, we're not doing this because you're watching.
No, we're doing this because we want to.
We're doing this because we want to. We're artists. What we want to do is inspire ourselves. And you know what? If you come along for the journey, that's great too.
All right.
You know, right?
You're welcome, I
So-
guess. As long as you don't talk, do not interact, do not look at us in the eye.
Don't say that. Please interact. Don't listen to her. She's horrible.
If you know what's
Don't
good
tell
for
them
you.
not to interact. We want interaction. The hell is wrong? This YouTube thing.
Don't
is just,
ever think you're on our level, but you can follow behind. That's okay.
Wow, Jaden.
But somebody's got to get kicked off tonight. You're on my level, folks. I'm below you. Please stop watching.
If you can't tell, he's on his knees right now.
Jeez. Anyway, golly.
What? Am I being too mean?
No, you've got your mother in you. Like,
Yeah, I do.
bad. Like, you've got, like, bad. So, okay, like I said, when I think of concept art, I think of machinery. I think of these things. And I guess one thing that stands out to me, the first time I saw concept art was H.G. Geiger. Or Giger. I don't know how to pronounce it last name. You have no idea what
I
I'm
got
talking about.
no clue.
You have no idea what I'm talking
No,
about. Obviously
no.
not. Okay. He's the one that designed, he did the concept art and designs for Alien.
The movie?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's it called? Oh my gosh. Is it a xenomorph? It's not
Is
a
it?
xenomorph. No.
Well, then I don't know anything.
I'm just not up on my alien speak. But
So this gay burger guy.
that's what, and it was kind of like machinery, and some of it was kind of phallic and a little sexual
Was
and
it
stuff like that.
intentional?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes, I think he was German, obviously.
That's
So
not really where my mind
there you
went.
go. But I think that's
That
right.
is a unique stereotype.
It's-
I don't even know if it's a negative one or not.
who says?
But he's good at
But
it, right?
no. But he created something that was, that
Iconic.
stands out, right? You see.
I know
it,
what it
no?
is, but I haven't watched
And
it.
it wasn't a little gray alien with eyes. But anyway, that's what I think of when I see this. So I figured the first thing that we pull up tonight would be the Matrix concept art, right? Because in this
It looks,
is that machinery
yes,
look, right?
absolutely.
So
A very detailed machinery. So intimidating.
all right. Anyway, so yeah, so right, so what always struck me about the Matrix was it looked like a fish,
Yeah.
right? Like a blowfish. I
Uh-huh.
think it's kind of what it's
Like a pufferfish.
Right.
Look at the spikes.
Absolutely.
You can
That's
see that.
exactly what it is. And basically, they took the spikes to be what I guess guns or
I don't know, but
antennas
it's
or
cool.
something, right?
It's jagged.
Mm-hmm.
It's very.
And
in
if you
your
remember
face.
these things in the movie, they kind of and it made it look like they were flying through water with the hover or whatever the case is. And so it's a very interesting design. That's why I said I think. Look, if you even see around this area right here at the front, it's kind of like the pufferfish
It's like
mouth,
like
right?
the beak or whatever
Right.
they've got going
I think
on.
this is the Nebuchadnezzar. I'm not positive.
You remember things I do not.
Nebuchadnezzar was Morpheus' ship.
Okay.
You had Nebuchadnezzar. I can't remember what Jada Pinkett Smith's ship was. Maybe nobody wants to. It was a serious. They made a video game out of it because when the Matrix came out, you had the first Matrix, which I had the privilege of going to see without ever seeing a trailer.
Oh, interesting.
Didn't know what the hell it was.
That must have been a crazy experience.
Well, yeah, no, didn't know what it was.
It was a bit of a drag. Just some dude.
Well, no, you didn't know what you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when the pill thing came up, like
Yeah.
the red or the blue pill, you didn't know what the hell was happening, and then you got pulled into Wonderland, as it were, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Down
like,
the
what
rabbit hole.
the hell is this shit? So so the Matrix stuck with me on that account. Had I seen a trailer beforehand, I might would have been,
You think it would have ruined it, or?
Maybe so. I don't think it would have been as interesting as I found it.
Well, I'll say that, like, when I watched the first one, I thought it was so overhyped, but I kind of boiled that down to, seeing it repeated in so many things I'd watched growing up. Even Fairly Odd Parents, for goodness sake, had a Matrix parody.
Everything.
And also, it just looked dumb. Like, the effects did not age well.
I wish I could see, the thing is, the whole question of reality thing was sort of being mimicked a lot. But right as the Matrix was coming out, there's also a David Cronenberg film.
Okay.
Which is along the same lines. And it came out about a year afterwards, right?
Okay.
And now David Cronenberg is the one that did like The Fly, things like, Scanners. Yeah, part of it. Yeah, part of it. Not everything Cronenberg does is that, but yeah. But Existence, what kind of was? It had Jude Law. I cannot remember her name that was in it. She was somebody else too. Was it Monica Potter? Who was it?
Probably wouldn't know her if you did remember the name.
True. So, but anyway, they got into a point where they were in a video game, and you couldn't tell if you were in the video game or if it was real life or whatever the case was.
It's the usual.
Right. So, so it's something that was consistently done, right? And that's cool. But whatever the case is, and it was good. In fact, I think it's getting a release. An anniversary release.
Oh,
see, at this point in time in 1999, we're starting to see more straight to video movies that were a little bit better than what they normally do. Now that's what you got it in the streaming era.
Ah, interesting.
Mike says, I also saw The Matrix without seeing a trailer. I watched it to the theater, I think Thanksgiving week, some holiday week during the day, and was amazed. Yeah.
Huh.
And see, Mike knows Existence, right? Said I loved Existence, and he said I saw that in the theater, so maybe that wasn't straight to video. I didn't. I was working in a video store at the time. That's how I saw it, and we were getting a lot of that. So maybe it was one of those ones that was kind of released in some places in the theaters, but not there.
Interesting.
But it didn't have a pufferfish ship.
No.
So
the concept art in this film is crazy. I almost feel like I hate saying it. The effects. It sort of killed a lot of. I mean, look at this. Really, there's no way they would have been able to fully pull this off in the movie, right? I barely remember this.
I can tell what kind of fish this is. Can you?
It looks more like a scorpion.
I'm thinking more of a hammerhead.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Like
these themes,
eyes.
These themes were completely amiss to me.
Look, you see
the
the
first
eyes.
time I watched it.
So,
oh yeah,
and the eyes and the snow and the nose.
Yeah,
Okay, it's a hammerhead shark.
Even the fin in the background.
I guarantee.
Can you not see it? Hello,
Can you
Mama.
see? Look.
Momager in the house. What's up?
The producer has come out to give you a slap in the head for all your nonsense you've been doing.
Because they dropped the PG.
You think it's a scorpion?
Honestly, he has a fair point.
But no, because a scorpion, and I'll say why I don't think it's a scorpion.
The tail would be curved.
One, a scorpion flying through the air wouldn't make sense. And you go, oh, a shark doesn't make sense flying through the air. But this stuff looked like he was swimming. And if you look at the
little blasters right there?
The machines, yeah.
They look like eyes.
Yeah. No, they're not claws.
Opinions are not being shared in this household.
No,
this may just lead to a divorce.
I disagree. Because when you look at the machines,
but I'm right.
Okay, whatever.
That's
the machines
okay.
have octopi looking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, think about it. They're like squid, right? They've got the tentacles and
You're
stuff.
You're pointing stuff out that I never even picked up on.
I never even really thought about it, but.
Damn,
here's some really cool stuff. I hated that they blinded Neo. I understand
know,
why.
I know.
I always hated that stuff. I always hated that stuff because, like, I remember when Luke lost a hand, and in Star Wars.
Don't like when people lose limbs.
Not the main character.
Yeah.
No.
You're supposed to have plot armor.
So you're not supposed to get hurt.
He has a
what
weird
are you doing?
phobia
losing
for that.
a hand. Oh, golly. They just bothered
alters
the hell
both
out of me.
of our realities.
Right. Even though having a robot head. Now, see, look. Okay. So here's the machines, right? And look. What do they look like?
Trying to get close. They do look very octopi squid-like.
Exactly. So it's like you had the fish versus the octopi.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
And tentacles are evil. We know this.
So
nothing with tentacles is trustworthy.
I can almost guarantee you that the person that was directing this, that was solely putting this concept, that was their thought. We have the good guys fish, bad guys squid, and then when they had those walking things, I don't know what the hell they were thinking of.
Actually, yeah.
Coelacanths? I'm not sure.
Some kind of like deep sea crab?
I don't know. Like, even this thing looks like a squid. And, the drill.
Yeah, no, you can see that. It's like the head. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, this stuff, like, this makes it even cooler. Why wasn't this translated well on film?
What would be really cool is that they would have included this in the credits. So everybody can get. Mandalorian does that.
Do they?
They do at
That's
the end of this.
genius.
At the end of the show, when they're showing the credits, they show the concept art.
That's genius.
So
that everyone
really
needs
cool.
to do this now.
Yeah,
now.
I think She-Hulk did it, but nobody wants to talk about She-Hulk.
No, because She-Hulk. What a great way to use the concept art, though. Like stuff that people usually would never see.
Now, can you look? Now, look at this. I think this is the clearest that we have seen a deck of one of these ships.
Oh my god, you're right.
And I don't even think this is used. But okay, here's the deal. How do you break this down? Okay, because here's the thing. I'm looking at this, and you can see that there has actually have to be simple shapes that are involved here to make this. I can see the simple the shapes here with the rounded over here, right?
Yeah, you can see the cylinder in the middle.
But okay, for instance, let's look at the guy in the pilot seat up there.
Yeah.
Okay. He stands out a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
does he stand out?
I guess because the clutter around him makes everything darker.
Exactly. That detail is all around there. So basically, even it looks complicated and everything. And in all honesty, it really freaking is.
It is.
But it serves a point to showcase
to draw
the
your
pilot.
eye, exactly.
Right. Look, the whole window frames him.
That's true.
It's coming towards him.
Absolutely
They're
true.
arrows, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's one arrow down and two arrows facing him.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, looky here. Look at this.
That's great.
Yeah. So, and we've got monitors all over the place. What do you think? How many monitors do you need, man?
I would assume
Get an iPhone.
A big one? Just one big
Just
one.
one big eye.
A Mac, maybe.
Well, I don't know. I guess if you think about these ships, right? They're long and big, so you've got to have angles on everything that you're looking at. So
That's true.
But I love
Those
this
are some very tiny
because
TVs.
I feel like this pipe coming down here on the left hand side. I don't know if anybody can see my
your mouse.
Yeah, this thing's
Should be able
acting
to
up here for some
enable
reason.
it.
For me not to be able to see it on your screen. But if my mouse not showing it, is there's this pipe over here on the left-hand side that swings down.
Yeah.
There's this pipe over here on the bottom that swings down, and it's moving you on.
That's true.
Round here, up, round, up here,
Yeah.
through again another circle and down.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and the question comes in is how come I'm not good enough to do this? This is what I want to know. How am I not good enough to do this? But yeah, absolutely. This is concept art. Look at this.
This is so rendered.
And it's very, and I think what's interesting is the aesthetic is so different between the quote unquote, well, let's call it the machine side and the human side.
Okay.
Because in the end, it was a huge misunderstanding. If you've watched the Animatrix, which we did, and it gives you, and if you want to know what happened and how the machines came to be, watch Animatrix. Who did Animatrix?
What is his name? Watanabe. I forgot. Shinichiro Watanabe, the guy
who did Cowboy
Bebop.
Bebop.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it was different stories,
different animators,
different animators,
animation.
right? And I actually enjoyed that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was probably okay. Is this controversial? It was probably my favorite Matrix film. It gave us the most interesting story, at least, because it literally gave you the origin of why everything the way it was.
Right.
And the mini stories were just so fun. You even got to see characters that were in the Matrix movies.
I think what was really cool is the house, like the haunted house, and everybody was playing in it, and it looked like I'm telling you, Thor: Dark World got this from this house, right?
Yeah.
Where you throw something up and it sticks.
Yeah.
And they were just flying around and stuff
And
like
all the
that.
kids
And basically what it was like glitch in the Matrix.
Isn't that's
that was
cool.
kind of really
that is
cool.
Such it took advantage of the storyline of the Matrix to show all these like cool stories outside of what you already know.
And that's what I was saying earlier, coming back around. When the Matrix came out, that first one came out, made such an impact. When they decided to release the second and the third one, they included the Animatrix was part of the storyline, because the last story in Animatrix is a story that they'll talk about in Revolution, whatever, not Reloaded. They'll talk about it in Reloaded. But then there was also the video game, the last flight of the Icarus.
Was that canon?
Of the Cyrus? Yes.
That was canon?
Yes.
Well,
Because then they talk about it in the movie.
They did. You're right. Yeah. You pointed that out.
So it was trying to be across media.
Which is an interesting choice, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, but they were trying. They were. No. But.
I mean, no one does it now. So.
Well, no, because with the Animatrix, it wasn't released in theaters, at least not to my knowledge. And so you had to go out and seek it out and see it.
Like it is.
Yeah, but there's not many people that were going to do that. I think that's what Marvel's going to end up killing themselves, is trying to connect everything like that across multimedia.
You got to get a streaming service, and you got to go find this movie from 2002, and you got to go.
Star Wars in itself was able to do that without connecting and recognizing each other.
Well, they were able to tell stories in the same universe.
Yes.
That's what they should all be doing.
But they didn't have to connect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
There might be something here or there, but I'm talking about the extended universe back before Disney bought it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Let's see. Mike says existence. They say existence in the show has limited release before going to video, mostly art house theaters. Okay,
art house.
That makes sense.
This one's been
yeah, it would be like stuff they would show anime movies now.
Oh,
like that. I think a lot with doing highly detailed work is having to work on a single project for a long time and not get bored by doing it. Yeah, that's the truth.
That's true.
Well, you're also trying to give an aesthetic, but you're also trying to give them enough to work with, because there's no way that they'll have the budget to do everything that you've imagined.
Yeah.
Right? Look at this.
Oh my God, is that an isopod? What is this?
Oh my, see, look, another sea creature.
Is that an isopod?
See?
I want it to be an isopod so bad I don't even care what it actually is. Someone don't tell me. Don't tell me if you know. I love isopods. I don't know if I've said this on the stream before.
I'm going to tell you what
That's got to be a crustacean. Oh no. Is it a lobster? What is it?
Oh, it's a flounder.
Huh? I guess I could see the back fin.
Yeah. See, flat and the round.
I'm sad. I want an isopod.
I have no idea what this is.
Someone tell me it's an isopod. I don't care what it actually is.
Sure, it's an isopod.
Yes. representation. Those are my people.
Anyway, so let's look. Let's see. We got a couple more. Oh my gosh, look at that!
Whoa.
Really capturing that atmosphere, trying to get that idea, of what we're looking at, the scope of this.
I feel like, okay, I know that they've had comics. Do the comics look this awesome?
I don't know if they had comics.
Because
I've never seen them.
The movies didn't age really that good.
Well, okay, and so
The look of them.
look at this thing. It's almost insectal and
That's
with
so
a squid
weird
look.
and gross looking.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this.
Is
This is the
some kind
final
of
fight.
Serpent? Wait, what was this? What was it called? Do you remember? Did it have a name?
What,
They
these?
called it something, yeah. The little horde. I swear.
Sentinels.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. But it didn't look that great. That was my main problem. I was trying to get into it so bad. I do think the trilogy of The Matrix was an interesting story. I just think the execution was a little off. And I know that you can clown on me. That's okay. I'm young. I'm a baby. I don't know anything about cinema.
Well, we're about to go to something a little bit lighter. But Mike asked before I forget, do either of you have Kickstarters out or coming out I can support? I don't have anything right now as far as I know. I don't know what the Bonbot Cosmic Princess that I just finished for Stephen Tanner Hurley's doing. I'm in the process of finishing up Doghouse 2, which I think will be launching next year. And Grace's Magi unfortunately didn't make it the way we needed it to make it, so they're going to re-release that, and I'll be working on the second issue of that. What about you, Jaden? What you got?
Like I got work.
Well, you got covers.
Shoot. Yeah, you're right. I got that. What is it? Nightwolf, right? I was getting mixed up with Snowpaw. Is that still running?
Yes.
Kickstarter?
No,
Okay.
no, it's done. It's done. It's done.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah.
Man, I really gotta keep up with this stuff. I really do. That's my work, dude.
Okay, so now we're going to look at something a little less complicated, technically speaking. Technically speaking. So, Hayao Miyazaki, who just came out with a movie. I had no idea that he was coming
He
out
didn't know. He found out today that he released a new.
Was it today I found out? Okay, maybe.
Yes, it was. This
Okay,
morning.
I knew that The Boy and the Heron was coming out. I didn't know that was a Miyazaki because I heard that he was going to do it, and yeah.
You don't know when he's back. You don't know when he goes.
No.
Is this the last one? Who knows?
No. But these are stills, or these are concept designs for My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah. A classic.
Which you can tell that it's really giving this peaceful feel, right?
It's very nice.
There's some of the houses. Yeah, it's just very calm. And I think if you kind of look at the it's kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but this shape here.
Yes.
Doesn't that shape look a bit like Totoro?
Maybe a little. There could definitely be something to it.
Yeah.
I could see the belly.
Yeah, I mean, it's
maybe
kind
the
of
nose.
Yeah,
I could see something to that.
It kind of just, even though you only have one little tuft up there, but that kind of looks like his ear, right?
I guess.
And so I wonder if there was just kind of the idea to kind of keep that. This is the house, right? This is their house.
Yeah, this is their house.
This is the house they moved into. So it's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's got two right there.
Oh, what do you know? Oh, actually, yeah.
From the side,
From the side,
even
you can
more
totally
looks like
see
Totoro.
that.
Yes. Oh,
we could
wow.
be reaching, but that would be really impressive.
I wonder if we've just unlocked some kind of Miyazaki secret.
I hope.
Right?
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be something.
I mean, everything in this is intentional. Like, nothing is done. It's not just a picture of a house. Someone went through and they drew this. So there's a reason it looks the way it does.
It does.
We could be reading
We'll
into it.
have to look into the movie to see if they kept that.
I'm sure they have it behind the scenes or something, too.
I'm sure. Golly. I mean, just look.
You can't unsee it now.
You can't. And what's interesting about it is it contrasts to the rest of the house.
It does, yeah. It stands out, especially the roof. I mean, it's such a
bold,
vibrant color.
So in Totoro, was it May's imagination? Was it their imagination?
I think it was spiritual, at least in my.
It was a spirit.
It was. I think that's my perspective.
A yokai?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But yokai
are usually more devious, right?
Depends on the yokai, but
right.
I like to look at it as a spiritual thing. Some people think it was just, kids being kids. I think there were real world, I don't want to say repercussions to his appearance, but there were things that happened
Indie Comics Network wants to remind you that you can always support the network, and we can use any tips to cover program, call, ship, StreamYard, and etc. So let's see if we can get to some of the. Oh
A
wow!
leaf. Those are cute.
Here's a little. Look at just how friendly he looks,
That's adorable.
and you can just see that they are just trying to just get that feel, right? Just trying to get that happy feel to it.
No, he's
Hey,
just
look,
big
well,
and fluffy and
Well,
lovable.
Pace is in the chat. Hey, Will.
Hey, what's up?
So yeah, so it's just fluffy, just feeling. And now this is the one that I've been waiting to get to.
This is sprites. Look at them. They got bodies now. That's crazy, right?
Okay, so if you see My Neighbor Totoro, it has some sprites, right? And they're not really. We used to have some in our house.
Oh, we did. We had a little decal, like a
They used to sit up
right above the door frame of your room.
and you didn't even realize it until I had to show it to you.
That's true.
After we finally showed it to you, yeah.
So they could be anywhere right now.
Absolutely, I have no idea what happened to those
clue.
decals. So William says I'm out of Facebook jail for lives.
Aw.
Hey, look, of course,
He escaped.
Jaden will be going to Facebook jail. She keeps up this other stuff.
I have said a few things. Mom might report me herself. I don't know.
That's right. We're going to put you in jail here. But look, okay, so here we go, Totoro, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's he got? He's got the little on top of his head.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They
That's
look
good.
exactly.
They look like the house.
They look like the house.
Crazy.
So I feel like they're trying to keep. I don't know.
The
Maybe
shape
it's kind of
language?
an idea. Yeah, it's keeping the shape language. It has a comforting to it. You know, when you look at shapes, there's certain shapes. Okay, for instance, like triangles have a sharp feel to it, and that's why you see like Isma from Isma from Emperor's New Groove. She's very sharp.
Angular, yeah.
Yes, but you look to Totoro, who's very round and fluffy.
I mean, he's
because,
just a giant oval.
well, you know, okay. So instance, you see the Buddha. You always see the fat guy, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
I got news for you. That's not what he looked like.
No,
No.
he wasn't a jolly round fellow.
No, he was not a jolly round fellow.
Oh, that might be Santa.
So,
Who's also round.
according to Coke. But that's a depiction to depict the
welcomingness.
Right, exactly,
I guess
the
I can't
comfort.
find the right word.
right,
Very huggable.
right, absolutely, very huggable. So, and of course, we have the cat bus scene.
I love that freaking scene.
This is
so
watercolor,
much.
right?
It has to be, yeah. I
I
mean, look at
think
the
so.
texture of it. Wow, that's crazy.
Will says round is a shape, like me. And then there's a street light scene. And here comes old Totoro coming out of the dark. Yeah.
There's always something sort of he's a very comforting character, but growing up, to me, he always kind of gave off this vibe of being sort of mysterious. I mean, that's intentional, right?
Right.
But it almost creeped me out. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to trust this guy or not.
I like this here. It has a symmetry versus asymmetry feel to it.
Well, look at him behind that tree. What's he doing?
Like, okay. Right. Like, okay, symmetry, you know, one side, you get cut down the middle, both sides look alike.
Yeah.
Or almost mirror each other. Asymmetry, they don't. But we see Totoro kind of mirrors symmetry, right? But yet you have this asymmetry when you look at the bushes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of like it's a comparison, right? Yeah. So in that comparison, we even that with that asymmetry in the foreground, we've drawn out the symmetry in the background and caused us to focus on that.
Yeah.
So the question is, how the hell am I not being able to do this?
You can do it plenty. It's all about just like thinking about it when you're drawing.
Oh golly.
Right? You can't just think about like anatomy and the techniques you've learned, but also the overall image.
We'll see.
Which is a lot easier said than done.
It is. Oh, look at this.
Oh.
That's Totoro and Big Totoro. What is going on? Okay.
I don't remember their names. Do they have names? They had to have
They probably had names. Now, who knows? They probably had names and didn't even tell us what they were. In all honesty.
Look at those teeth.
Yeah.
They're not
Okay, and so here you have these big rounding teeth, right?
Mhm.
Even as round as Totoro. So the concept is to give him, you know, he's lifelike. He's just happy, and these rounded teeth look happy, as opposed to the sharp teeth, which look very sinister.
And
If we said, "Oh, big round happy," and he opens his mouth and he's got fangs,
that's a different
that's
story.
a problem,
That's
right?
different, yeah.
Absolutely. A cat looks cute. A tiger looks
Until they open
pretty
their mouth.
until he opens its mouth.
So they tried
So-
to eliminate that entirely.
It's like, oh crap.
Oh, look at me.
Oh.
So cute.
And I love the little umbrella they just seem to
I know,
carry.
it's adorable.
Oh,
Oh, these are cute little sketches.
and here they're not really trying they're not trying to get an exactness, right?
No, they're just trying to get her vibe.
They're exactly. It's like just trying to like feel the vibe,
Yeah,
man. Just like what?
Exactly.
What? Hey, get the vibe down.
What started
Go.
this?
Yeah.
What have I done?
Oh, that's what they used to do in Beatnik
I'm glad they
poetry
don't
circles,
do it
right?
anymore.
They wouldn't
still
clap.
do
They wouldn't clap. Well, because you couldn't be loud, or otherwise they usually be the cops.
They would.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
That's
see,
so
that's right. It is
much
it's
worse.
groovy.
That's so
It's
annoying.
so groovy. You just don't know. Oh, look.
Oh, that's little.
And look, and May looking into the mouth of Totoro, if those teeth were sharp, this would be a different story.
It's still kind of creepy. At least to me. At least to me.
So, and here we go. We just get May's vibe.
Oh,
May's
so much
all over
May.
the place.
Yeah.
Right? And again, we're not even concerned about getting accuracy and I mean the anatomy's right,
Yeah.
but we're not. Look, I mean, look at his
scribbling.
hands. Yeah.
It's getting her essence
Getting her
in
down.
a drawing.
So that's something we need to think about when we do character art later on, because I think what we should do is have a subject. And you draw your characters for that subject, and I draw my characters for that subject, and we come back later on in the show.
We should do that
And see what happens.
That's crazy.
But we
You
both
give me an essence, I give you
we keep
an essence.
having work.
Oh, that's true.
So
Maybe one day when we're free. Unless you don't want to let that happen. Like if you
scared? Are you calling me scared?
I'm talking to the audience. Hire me. Not right now, but in the future. When I am free. I'll be mad, but I'll take it.
Oh. Yeah. Why are you gonna be mad? Why do you can't tell people that? Hire me. I'll be mad at you.
I'll
hire
hate you,
me.
but thank you. But give me money.
Shut up.
Sorry.
That's art, right? You love. I love to draw.
to
I
draw.
hate to draw.
I hate to draw for you.
No,
But I love money. Stop playing. I'm playing. You're always covering me. Take a joke.
Wow. Okay. This will be
But
the last time
I'll
Jaden
kiss,
is
I'll
on.
kiss the
Is
microphone.
on our
Look.
style kamikaze. No, we appreciate our clients.
I do. I just kissed them. All of them.
It's just-
And if you haven't bought for me, that kiss wasn't for you.
Anyway, so I think we're done with Totoro now. We're going to move on.
I got off a little bit.
Any guesses?
Can anyone guess what this is?
Wait,
Who's guessing?
we could get copyright. I think you know. So anyway, so this is the popular guy right now. It's been out. I didn't particularly care for the second one. The first one is a work of art.
It
It
really
is a master.
It genuinely is.
I did not care for the second one. I really didn't.
I think it's just a little undercooked. I think when we get that part 2, maybe it'll feel a little bit fuller.
Well, they had to cancel it because of the way they treated the artists on that. It was just ridiculous.
That's
Animators
how
have
it
gotten some
always
stuff.
goes.
And what's going to happen is those animators are going to go off and do their own stuff. And the next thing you know, we got the Hell of a Bosses and the Digital Circuses
Yeah,
and the
independent creation that
independent creations.
exceeds whatever streaming service is
Right.
coming out.
So,
Oh, right. This is
as long as they
Spider-Verse.
know how to tell a story.
Have we said that?
Oh, yeah, this is Spider-Verse.
And
This is concept art for old Miles Morales. We got this. He still kind of has a guffaw look,
Yeah.
right?
Look at that. He's adorable.
Yeah.
He looks so different. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe
This
it's
is
the hair.
they're also trying to keep the they're also trying to keep the let me get this, see if I can't get this up some. They're trying to keep the Shamik Moore, who does Miles's voice,
Yeah.
was on Incredible. He used to be on Incredible Crew. We
I
watched him
know.
I would say years, but it didn't last years. On Incredible Crew.
Yeah.
So they're trying to capture Shamik's
Oh. is that what's
feel,
happening? Yeah.
right?
I can
But they're
feel
also
that.
trying to keep that innocent look of like,
Like
that's,
Miles, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they did very, very similar
I can
vibes
see,
anyways.
I can see, yeah, absolutely. Carter the Starler.
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of, yeah.
That's so Miles. He was perfect
Now
for
this one here is, I think this is kind of,
He looks more timid here.
yeah, it's a very nerdy take on Miles,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think they wanted to go the full Peter Parker on
Nah.
Miles on this issue. Let
They
me see if
kinda
I can
leaned
pull
him
this
more
up so people can
towards-
see this a little bit better.
His uncle's vibe, but still having that timid, nerdy nature to him.
Yeah.
This is almost
I mean,
like
what's The haircut kind of looks like the 1950s.
Yeah.
So it's
almost like this is what he suppresses.
Yeah.
His modern.
This is
design.
the nerdy part of him.
Yeah, exactly.
This is his whole thing is another persona altogether. So, let's see.
There he is in the dollar
spider
store.
suit. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So this is the costume, right? This is the one that Stan Lee handed to him.
Legend. Was that his last movie? What was it? Was it Endgame?
Yes, I think so. I believe so.
I'm just glad it wasn't Captain Marvel.
Ow.
Sorry, was that me?
Yes.
Oopsie daisy.
And then of course you have just getting that concept art, and of course this is pretty standard Spider-Man stuff here. So now here they're trying to get that feel of expression of Miles.
Yeah.
Who's Miles as Spider-Man?
Look at the way he's leaning back down there in the bottom right.
The very skinny at the butt. The very skinny feel of it.
Fan arts. Like, there's so much passion to these sketches. You can tell they really care about the character.
Yeah. It's definitely
that's something I got from Spider-Verse as a whole. It felt like it was made by fans for fans.
Well, the whole thing about it was Miles Morales' personality. Okay, let's take Spider-Man, Sony's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
They put Miles Morales in it. Let's be honest, Miles didn't have that much of a personality.
No, unfortunately.
Okay? No. So what ended up happening, and I've told the story a few times on live, they took Miles's personality and gave it to Peter for those ridiculous Tom Holland movies. I said it.
Yeah.
All right.
Hot take.
It's not a hot take, it's just the truth. And they even gave him Miles's friend and everything like that, right? So that's they reconditioned Peter Parker to be more like the Miles Morales. So they had to pretty much invent a new personality for Miles into the Spider-Verse.
It was the best rendition of Miles
by
far.
Absolutely.
It's one that will never be undone. Like, this is Miles Morales.
Right. But you know how Miles was created.
No, explain the story.
Okay, Donald Glover of Community was a big Spider-Man fan, and he always wanted to play Peter Parker Spider-Man. In my personal opinion, and personality-wise especially, Donald Glover could have pulled that off.
Yeah, I could see that. The way he played in Community.
Yeah, absolutely.
His comedy?
Yeah, I think 100%. He could do it. But Brian Michael Bendis, they weren't going to cast Donald Glover, and we know why.
Yeah.
And because that would have upset people even more so. So Brian Michael Bendis went and invented another character so that could relate, and somebody could play Miles Morales. That's why Donald Glover is so closely related to anything Miles Morales. That's why you see him in Into the Spider-Verse or Beyond the Spider-Verse.
He played Miles in the Spider-Man cartoon. Am I mistaken?
Did he?
He
might have. That's a possibility. But you also have him. He was playing Miles's uncle in the Spider-Man.
Yes, he did. He played Prowler. In which one was it? Was it Homecoming? The first one?
Homecoming, yeah. Well, of course, he wasn't Prowler then, but yeah.
No, not yet. But that's who he was.
So, and that's why I do appreciate
an origin
Miles.
Story. I love Miles. He is a great personality.
Now, they took it a little far and made Miles everything. What is Miles Morales' Thor? What is Miles Morales' Captain America?
That's just modern Marvel.
And it's like, okay, come on.
You've got to do that.
We're going a little ridiculous. You got an interesting character. You totally,
This is probably, honestly, I'm not a big fan about the multiverse craze that's going on right now. But even with all of this going on, this shines. This is one of the best multiverse movies I've ever seen.
One of the best Spider-Man movies. I'm sorry.
It's probably in the top 3 at the very least, and it's at least second place.
But look, okay, so here we got the 2 characters, and one thing that I have learned about putting in 2 characters in a drawing is when I'll sit there and I'll just have this sketch of a blob where that encompasses both characters,
and then you fill it in,
Nice.
That's what I do too.
And that's exactly what they're doing here. Is the shape language here is
connects the characters.
Yeah, there's actually one shape here. It's just made up of 2 characters.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we're getting the feel for the older Spider-Man, the worn out Spider-Man, right? And then the energy of Miles,
it's perfect. Yeah. It translated to film so incredibly.
I mean, look at this guy here. Have I ever showed you the guy that plays
No, I
him?
don't think so.
I'll have to show it to you. There's like this picture right here has I
He
can't
looks
remember his name,
Beat up.
but let me see. Yeah, so yeah, he has that energy. The guy's a comedian.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Yeah. So I think he was on
We're doing some Googling on tonight's show.
That's right. Google. I want to let you see his name. Jake Johnson.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you can see. Okay, like here, this is perfect
you can see
right
the
here.
energy.
You can completely. If you go up and look up Jake Johnson.
New girl. Okay.
Yeah. You look up Jake Johnson. If you don't know, he also played Ian Malcolm's son in Jurassic World.
Is anyone gonna know that?
Then they
Has
might.
anyone watched Jurassic World?
Yeah, the first one. But
Yes.
yeah, so he has that. He has that energy, right?
Yeah.
So they're capturing that in this. So look, I mean,
that messiness.
but you're still looking like Peter Parker.
Oh yeah.
So you got to hand it to the concept artists. To these, they're trying to keep. And I feel like there's some Tarzan in this.
Oh.
Like if you go look at some of the Tarzan artwork and everything from Disney, there seems to be a feel of the Tarzan look. Speaking of,
honestly, wouldn't know. I never watched Tarzan.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, was that on purpose? You trying to keep me away from it?
It has Rosie O'Donnell in it.
I don't know who that is, but
exactly.
I'm picking up on some vibes.
That's how you know we've done a good job. Rosie O'Donnell used to be funny. She just kind of went different ways.
Does she play Tarzan?
No, she plays a gorilla. So this is a depiction of Gwen.
Gwen, yeah.
This has to be. She had long hair. It got cut, right?
It was like shoulder length.
They had to cut the hair out. Well, yeah, because he had to cut the hair out.
Sticky.
Yeah. So this gives a good feel of Gwen.
Yeah, you're seeing it.
Yeah.
That first one was very like Gwen comics. All she was missing was the headband.
Yeah. There we go. Gwenpool or Gwen. I keep saying Gwenpool. Gwenpool's great, but I
have to read that.
The Spider Girl, Spider Woman. I have no idea what they're calling her. Spider Gwen, I think is what. But surely she's not going around being known as Spider Gwen in the comics, right?
She would. I mean, unless she wants to get caught. That doesn't seem like a very useful.
Gwen, are you Spider Gwen? No.
I just sound like her, and I have the same height and measurements. And look, they're really leaning on the ballerina thing.
Yeah.
You never really got to see until later in the film, but you see her just doing daily activities with these slippers. I mean, what is this?
You know, that's a good question. Why didn't they lean into that a little bit more? It would have been interesting to see in her in the second one. They forgot.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. I thought that was an element that was missing. She's a very graceful superhero. I love that part of her.
But no, she's a drummer because she's cool. You know, the people who wrote the second one didn't write the first one.
They didn't?
No.
No, that's never a good thing with Sony Animation. I mean,
no, don't get me wrong. The ones that wrote it, they've written some good stuff. They did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
That's
that.
good.
Yeah.
But who did Spider-Verse?
I'll have to look them up, but it doesn't.
You see with Sony Animation, they're very hit or miss because yes, they had Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, but they also had the Emoji Movie. You gotta ring them in sometimes,
right?
You gotta put some restrictions on these people.
Like we've all seen Amazing Spider-Man 2. And Spider-Man 3. And all Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
All of them. Every single one.
I think they were going for a different look here. Didn't really work.
Punk.
All right.
So
the guy who played Miles' dad was Paperboy on Atlanta.
You know a lot of things. You got you're a whole Wikipedia page inside of your head.
No, I just pay attention.
I don't do that.
If I did, I would remember his name, which I can't. And why am I looking into the Spider-Verse and yet you're showing me Oscar Isaac, and it's like, okay, Oscar Isaac didn't show up until the
second one?
And no, he was actually, well, I don't know I think it was him that played him at the very end. And the thing. But this is Brian Tyree Henry is the one that
plays his dad.
Yeah, and you see there's a huge difference between them.
Oh yeah,
physically speaking.
Very different.
But they're still
Bro, and this guy's young looking, and he's not a cop.
Right. He's not a cop. And then Prowler.
Oh yeah.
So So we looked here, and this is cartoon. They're getting those actions. They're getting that
Those
feel
expressions.
to it. He has a Michael B. Jordan feel to him, but this is
He
you should know
like
Mahershala Ali.
Well, that's who he's now.
Huh? You know him from Luke Cage.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be Blade. That's all I care.
Which I'll work. That works.
I think
all right,
it
but I
works.
don't.
I don't know how the
you're
Blade's
not
gonna
gonna-
turn out,
you're
but
not
he was
gonna
pretty
beat-
well casted.
You're not going to beat Wesley Snipes.
No, you're not.
I'm sorry. And of course, Kingpin. So
Big boy.
let's move on to another. We got a couple of Marvel stuff in here.
A lot of Marvel. I mean, that's what you guys.
So
did,
we
right?
decided we were going to go with Guardians of the Galaxy 2 to show that concept art. And while the movie's okay, it's not
I don't
the
think
best
it's
in that series.
It's very visually impressive, though.
Yeah.
I think it had a lot of great looks,
I think the concept art,
especially Ego. That was like the planet.
yeah. I think the concept art for Guardians 2 is actually vastly superior to what we ended up getting.
Yeah, that seems to be what happens a lot of the time.
But again, like I said, when you're dealing with budgets and production companies, it's a lot harder.
You gotta camp it up to get the essence.
But I think what's interesting about this is this feels like a very complicated piece. However, it's not, right? I mean, it's shape.
Yeah.
It's completely shape. And I think what we as artists would like to try to do, especially as a comic artist, is trying to nail down the detail without being detailed.
Yeah.
And they do a fantastic job here. I mean, this just looks like running water.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you zoomed in, it's not as detailed as it looks from afar.
Oh, absolutely
but
not.
It gets the point across.
But you know what is working on here? Rodney Fike of Haslam Productions, he does Thursday Night Throwdowns, does Fike It on Tuesday nights, right here on the Indie Comics Network. When he was learning art, that was one of the things that his art teacher, thank you, that was one of the things his art teacher used to teach him, was to look at the shadows and the shapes and things like that. And that was what you concentrated on to get the form. God bless him. I can't do it. I'm trying, man.
It'll click eventually.
I'm trying.
Well, you're fooling me.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to like click off. Picasso made the statement, and we've said it many, many times on many, many streams. If you haven't heard from an artist, from somebody somewhere, from an artist somewhere, you might not be studying hard enough. That's all I can say. But Picasso made the statement that it took him 5 years to learn how to draw like a master, but it took him a lifetime to learn how to draw like a child.
Oh yeah, I have heard that.
Yeah,
1,000 times.
Exactly. So and in that it really is like that's why I included that clip last week when you talk about technique versus okay, this looks like a photograph. Thank you. Your technique is really obvious. Ouch. Thank you. That's not a compliment. Not as an artist. But you want your emotions to come out.
Yeah, exactly.
And so sometimes you have to abandon technique. I saw Alessandro Barbucci, butchered that, who does Sky Doll, Echo. We talked about his artwork before. Has a masterclass, and one of those parts of the masterclass is in French. It's in freaking French.
Oh.
I want to learn French so I can take this masterclass.
He's got Duolingo on his phone right now.
Oh my gosh. Look, but one of those is how to abandon technique for artistic scope. What? What do you mean by that?
Here's all the techniques. Now forget them.
But
throw them away.
But it's almost like, okay, so what you want to do with art and technique is you want to take art techniques and make a muscle memory. Like them to where they're just common and then forget it.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
Intentionally break the rules.
Oh, golly.
No, sometimes you have to. I mean, that's how you get art styles, right?
Well, yeah, your art styles
look photorealistic.
But don't try to do that.
No.
Art, and that's what the problem with a lot of new artists is they try to make this whole I'm trying to find my style.
Yeah,
Stop
focusing on the style.
Stop
it. It will come to you. I promise. That set me back so many years. That's genuinely why I stopped art at like 12 years old, which I know sounds ridiculous, but it was big to me. I didn't have anything else going on. Okay.
So I love this scene. Obviously, this is a scene where he's going through and he's about to tear up he's about to tear a hole in everybody's ass,
yeah.
right? He's killing off. We got a motherfucking kaiju in here, guy from Suicide Squad. He's killing off Johnny Urine from Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Which wow.
Yeah.
I forget his name sometimes. It always takes me a little back.
His real name is Johnny Uringer.
That's not much better.
No, but he dropped it for a while as Johnny Urine.
It fits the persona.
As Mindless Self-Indulgence. Absolutely.
But this scene was single-handedly probably one of the best in the entire trilogy.
But I love the lighting in this to just zigzag through. Because here's the thing: what it's not is okay. Yes, it's conveying. It's leading your eyes, absolutely. But the zigzag lights are also foreshadowing the chaos that is about to happen.
That's true.
Like
this I didn't think about that.
If you think about it, those lights up there,
those are the motions of the era. That's awesome. Yeah, I never noticed that. That's crazy. I was trying to figure out because it was obviously it seemed like symbolism. Like you could have just had straight beams. If you wanted that,
just to get that feel, right?
But it's intentional.
No, and they are arrows. There are arrowheads, right? So it's like, okay, this is foreshadowing the shit that's about to go down.
I love this movie. Honestly, I love all of the Guardians. Just because it was the weakest of the three does not mean that it was a bad movie at all.
No, absolutely not. This is pretty amazing. Again, this is what we're dealing with. We have that detail that's just around, right? It's also we can focus on
organized chaos. Look at all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it all comes together. I mean, you could look at this from. I'm so far away from the screen right now. Y'all can't see, but I'm barely being able to make out anything over here. But I can still see what's happening. I can see who's on screen, what's on screen.
Let me move this up a little bit for everybody.
Just the value in itself is so impressive.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if you take a look at some of the Kirby stuff, because this is an Indie Comics Network show, so we have to mention Kirby sometime.
Wow.
But if you look at some of the Kirby stuff, some of the Gil Kane space stuff, you have those lines and intricate things of spaceships and for vehicles and things like that. And this is really trying to capture that, in all honesty, and still get.
OGs in the chat will know what he's talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Old geeks.
Wow!
That's the acronym.
Wow!
Sorry.
Nice. I don't think anybody would be upset by that.
I hope.
I don't think anybody would upset that. Let's coin that. You hear that? OG now stands for old geeks.
All right.
So
feels good.
Yeah. Now this here is a concept art, of course, probably for a poster,
probably that's what I was thinking, or like a DVD box cover, or
something like that. But you know what this is based on?
No.
This is based on the Star Wars.
Oh, is it? Of course, I wouldn't pick that up.
Yeah.
It's the only like space sci-fi film I will watch that I will stand. Sorry, guys, not crazy about Star Wars. And you can't make me, because I've heard what actual fans of the franchise say. Why would that make me want to watch it?
You have watched it.
They complain more than the haters do. They say worse things about it than genuine critique.
Well, here's the deal with this. Okay. It has that fantasy feel to it, right? But this is a space opera.
I can see it.
It has, it's.
I mean, you got even in the background. It's just like it.
And this, of course, and even that was to itself of its predecessors, Flash Gordon, and so on. So it just shows you where this was. And everybody's like, "Oh, see, superhero fatigue's not over. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy. I got news for you. Guardians of the Galaxy is not really superhero. I'm sorry."
It didn't sort of reinvigorate, if that's the right word. I don't know. It sounds dirty. The Marvel as a whole, people expected it to be a flop, and it kind of brought back interest.
I think even Marvel expected it to be a flop. The first Guardians, they didn't expect for it, and then that's why they started leaning into it with other factors. Yeah. And while it worked okay for Ragnarok, it didn't work for Love and Thunder.
They kept trying to bring the humor from Guardians into other films, and it's like this tone does not fit these heroes at all. No. I'm sorry.
Didn't work well. A lot of people were upset by Star-Lord wasn't the Star-Lord from the comic. But if you read Star-Lord from the comic,
is he boring? He's not played by Chris Pratt.
I'd say sometimes he's one-dimensional. That could be arguable.
That's a lot of
debatable.
Heroes.
But yeah, I mean, so
was he more of an asset? Because I know
No,
like
I wouldn't say
Star-Lord
that.
for the most part.
I wouldn't say that. He was a leader, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, and you could look at the Chris Pratt Star-Lord as kind of a bumbling idiot
If
or
he
whatever the
didn't have
case
his
is.
charm,
Yeah.
his wits and his skill, he'd be an asshat.
They Miles Morales Star-Lord.
Yes, that's a
There
great
you
way of
go.
looking
That's
at
how
it.
they
They improved him.
So why you not getting an exact accurate Miles Morales? He's still even with Gamora was more streamlined than she was. I guess Gamora in the comic is a little more exotic, so they kind of streamlined her. You know, it's kind of like this when you create a character,
yeah,
and you put I'm going to add this little tassel, I'm going to put this here and everything.
Exotic.
Now imagine drawing that for every panel.
Oh yeah,
and then every costume, and then so on. Okay, for instance, like Fiona and Cake.
Okay.
All right, and Fiona and Cake, when we saw them on Adventure Time, Fiona had the skirt. All right, now when we watched the series, spoiler for those who haven't watched Fiona and Cake.
Hurry, get off! Go!
They replaced. She complained about the skirt,
and then they changed it.
And they changed it to shorts, but because it wasn't
reality accurate,
right?
For starters, but it would also have been hard to draw over and over again.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
The fluttering of the skirt.
Well, it wasn't even fluttering, right? Because it was kind of like a tight skirt.
It was.
So her fighting, it was kind of hard to make. They said they made the statement like, "Oh, it's hard to fight with that." And the whole reason why she had the skirt was because it was the antithesis. So
are you
to
saying
Finn.
Gamora was sexier in the comics? Is that what you're getting at? Was her costume different?
Yes.
Interesting. An interesting perspective.
I mean, so was Drax, but.
Well, yeah, no, I get it. A lot of superhero costumes are very feasible in reality.
Like I said, she's more of a. Okay, let's see.
The term exotic was an interesting usage because my mind went all over the place. How do her boobs stay in that? Look at that.
Okay, so here's your. So it's almost like a fishnet looking.
She gets
drawing,
punched
right?
once, and that is like 3 nip slips in the same scene. That's crazy.
So,
I didn't think it'd be that different. She's got no armor on.
No, well, no. I mean, that's space armor.
Is she that skilled?
That's space armor.
Fair
well, yeah,
enough,
well, she's a freaking space assassin.
That's true.
Damn straight. Look.
Yeah, them is just out.
So I mean,
she's owning it.
Right. So there's that cloak I was telling you about. Remember?
She had a cloak. Yeah, I saw that in some of the concept art.
Let's see if we get into this.
That might be in the first one. I think that was in the first film's concept art, but we can't pull that up because the trailer
probably.
will play
right.
and then it'll get copyright struck and then lose the stream. But that is not what I that's even worse than what I was thinking when you said exotic.
Yeah, see, and then she has a sword and everything. Yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So you're looking at so go look it up. Go look at Gamora original artwork. I'm not going to pull it up here for you to see, but you can go check it out because it's a different costume than what you get in the Guardians, right? But then they kind of bring them to a uniform, so they kind of bring it together. We just watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where he was trying to get, Holt was trying to get Peralta to wear a tie
to make him a team.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
So what about this atmosphere here? Like, okay, are these like space hookahs? They're not even space hookahs. What is in that liquid, man? It's around here. And it's just like this comfortable. And now they even have lazy boys in space. What?
Whoa. Yeah, that's a great detail.
I'm telling you.
Feel comfortable
right at home. Right? You feel comfortable, but yet it's old.
It's gloomy. Yeah, you can smell the dust.
Yeah. Now here, I love this. I don't know what this was going to be used for. It says quadrant.
Was this used? No, there's no way.
No, I don't believe
I would have remembered this.
But what does it look like? It looks like a freaking crab.
There we go. Back to the freaking fish.
I think why the brain goes to insects and it goes to fish when you think of space is because it's something that's we can see actually exist without gravity.
That's true. My thought when you said bugs was like exoskeletons.
Right.
And you can see that on a lot of deep sea creatures too. And that's something that you can translate to machinery very easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like freaking crustaceans, like isopods. Make isopod robots, please. Please do that because I'm too lazy.
Sounds like something you need to do.
No, I don't know how to draw machines, but I love isopods.
So this is looks like it's another quadrant. This looks a little more complicated. I can see why they would probably abandon this design.
Yeah, it would have been hard to render.
Yeah, it looks a little hard to really tell what's going on.
It does, yeah. It's very complicated.
Wow. And so this is Ego, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
Look at these little whirlpools down here. and with the little
so atmospheric. Yeah, this so misleading.
Yeah, right. It
almost looks like heaven.
If you look at it, it's got the temple at the top. Well, yeah, because Ego thought he was a god, or he was a god. It's a celestial, at least in the movie.
Even in his name, Ego.
I don't believe he was a celestial in. I don't believe he was celestial in the comic.
What was he? Just some.
It was a planet. Damn it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And I could be wrong. I don't remember. But these things right here look like.
They look like bumblebees.
It says it's a laser drill ship, right?
Okay.
Ticks.
Ticks. Interesting. Yeah.
It looks like ticks, right?
Back to the bugs.
Back to the bugs.
You can see that. Absolutely.
Yeah. This looks like that clamshell opening up. Some more ticks.
Oh yeah.
Or parasites, or this doesn't really look like ticks as much as it looks like the little germs that are on your skin.
Like moon bear, or what are they called? They're not called moon bears. Water bears. That's what it's.
Yeah, something like that, right?
They have done water bear imagery in the series before, I believe. Am I mistaken?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they have to have. I don't think I would. Oh, no, they didn't. Ant-Man. That might be what I'm thinking about.
Weird creatures. And then here we go. Now this looks like somebody kept the same rocket and changed the backgrounds.
Oh,
added a little something
that's
here.
Cheating.
But I wonder what the idea behind the scene was. I think we're trying to get scope here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here you are inside Ego.
This is
right?
so cool. It's so.
That's creepy.
It's the inverse of what you saw on the outside.
It's like a scary. This is by Samuel Micklef.
I wish we had the names for all of these.
Yeah, I know.
Give them a shout out like they need one.
I know, right?
They're in better positions than we are.
No, that might not be true. I mean, sometimes
they're freelance.
I mean, there might be people among the industry that knows them, but it would be good for us common folk to know who they are too, right? So, and then we get another shot that just says Yondu.
Look at that expression, so Yondu.
Yeah. Just the whole thing, and then right there, and then this big thing, this big cylinder right here is splitting that symmetry.
Yeah.
See it?
It's very important with machinery, I've noticed.
And then, of course, this looks like a Ravager dock place. Is
yeah.
that a car? What is this about?
Have we seen this? This was done in the film, right? Maybe it was a different color.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It looks
Get off that freaking blue that keeps coming up. Let's see. Let's take. Oh, here we go.
Oh wow.
Now let's take a look at this.
See, look what I mean. It's incredible. This wasn't translated all the way to the movie.
No, there's a little bit here and there, and I think they did this mostly on like his kingdom or whatever, so it looked like it was man-made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have liked to have seen it like that, but I can imagine it was either going to be one of two things. It was going to be a lot of money to render physically, practically, or two, it wouldn't translate so well digitally.
That's true.
And I wouldn't be surprised if James Gunn was the kind of director that kind of wanted to limit its CG. He did come from trauma. So
I know he does seem like that type.
Yeah, I could see that we're going to have to use CG, but let's limit what we have to use on it. So speaking of CG, here we go.
Oh, Iron Man.
So we're looking at some Iron Man now.
3 specifically.
Iron Man 3, which, okay, I know everybody hated Iron Man 3. However, I definitely like the concept of his Iron Man army.
Yeah, that was
able to call all the ships. I think one thing that stuck out to me was in Age of Ultron when he told I can't remember, stand guard or whatever. He stepped out of his uniform to do whatever the case is, and the machine was still going.
Yeah,
his armor was still going.
That was really cool.
So I thought that was cool that they utilized that idea of how many suits of armor he had. Look here, and this is I guess this is part of that scene, right?
Yeah. Maybe so.
Yeah. So
it has been so long.
So it's like just this onslaught of Iron Man. Just
that's so cool. When I saw it, I didn't know that there was hate against the film. I didn't know why. I didn't get it.
Well, the whole thing was because of the way that they did the Mandarin.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I didn't know. I wasn't a comic book person when I got into the MCU, so I didn't really catch it.
Right.
It probably made the film better.
Well, I mean, okay, considering that the Mandarin is quote unquote a stereotype.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, his name's the Mandarin.
Yeah, and so they were trying to distance themselves from that stereotype and trying to add a new spin to it. You got to give them a little bit of leeway. Here's some of the concept art, the glowing,
The glowing.
the fire when there's the skin or whatever the case is. So it was,
Notice how he's fully shirtless.
yeah. Look at this. This is like the driller Iron Man,
Whoa.
right?
That's
I
cool.
feel like okay, this is construction Iron Man. This is
Even
this
got
is
the
to stay back while I have a
stripes.
jackhammer. I mean, that's what it looks like. It's
Yeah.
like construction. And okay,
Oh, this is the scene.
look, this is like a fat Iron Man, but okay,
Whoa. Inclusive.
yeah, all over the place. Just look at him.
So crazy. This was.
I mean, that is cool.
It was a jam-packed film.
Yeah,
It really was. It was pretty much everything they could have done. They did.
I don't know. Was it more that had this thing that had that same energy? See, it's been a while since I've watched it. So
And I only watched it once, but that was like 2 years ago.
and look, here he is running outside because there's the Iron Man suit of armor parked like a freaking motorcycle.
I love it.
Now, what's great about this is it just says a lot to the character of Tony Stark.
It does.
It says a lot to the to Iron Man. It's very. I wish we would have seen that
Yeah.
because I feel like that could have been
That would have been great. We didn't see it.
no.
It's so in character for him that I didn't doubt for a second that happened in one of the films.
I could see it, and look, of course, he's got War Machine right next to him because he's just
Aw.
as cocky too. So we're gonna park the Iron, but
Bro.
at least Tony Stark is respectful enough to park his vehicle
Exactly.
in a space. And look, he's not double parked.
Wow.
What can you say? I mean, I guess, and if he did, who would say?
Even billionaires have manners.
Yeah,
sometimes.
even if he did, who's going to say something?
Who's gonna stop him? I mean,
Yeah. Look at this. This is just menacing. Look at this lumbering
wow.
Iron Man over here, right? It's like, I guess it's kind of like the Hulk Buster.
At this point, he was just showing off, right?
Yes.
That's. I mean, look at these things.
Right.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
The value in this one, especially, I mean, they're basically silhouettes. There are details, there is lighting, but most of it comes from just how dark it is.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
There you go. There's some concept art. Very nice. Okay, so let's move on to it. So here we
Keep banging
go.
on the table. I hope I'm not spiking anything.
So let's go. Okay, we're
A
at
jump.
the beginning.
A very large jump, but
Yes,
at Ralph.
but at least we're still in Disney, right?
yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
There's a theme, even though they own like half of every.
I'm gonna go
property
through
ever.
this quick because we're an hour 18 minutes in,
Shoot, are we really?
and I
We're
really
gonna
want
miss
to hit that
SNL?
last one. No, that doesn't come out to 10:30.
Okay, we're fine.
But yeah, so we think this was Wreck-It.
We think this was Ralph. I'm
this is
not
Ralph?
positive, but it's got his vibe, right? I can't remember a character that looked
You're
like
like,
this.
right? I mean, kind
It was very Pixar here. Like, even
Right.
though that's not what it was. And this one is the Candy Cane Tree,
right.
which great.
I think
scene,
this is
but-
just trying to get. This is a storyboard
Yeah,
concept here,
exactly.
so this is just trying to get that idea.
Mhm.
You got Penelope up there.
It seemed like it was a very early scene, like some that they had in mind from the start.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably something we want this scene in there,
Mhm.
fit it in there somewhere.
I could relate to that.
Yeah. So this is Felix.
I'm assuming this would have matched the Ralph. This fits our theory.
Yeah,
Very Pixar, very, very, very early video game character.
I gotta say, I'm glad that they kind of got with the 80s style.
Mhm.
Now, I don't want to say Mario because it wasn't. It was Mario, but it wasn't just Mario. There
No.
were several different
The
video
arcade
games that were like
game.
right.
From
So
what would have been? Is this still arcade-esque? Do you think? I mean, I could like maybe Pac-Man. What would the theme have been?
yeah, well, it was the same thing. He was fixing Felix.
Mhm.
Uh,
His hammer has eyes.
I bet you that at this point in time, they're like, "This is what we're looking at." But they didn't have a script yet.
Yeah. Think it
I
was all
bet you.
visual?
I think it was at this point they said, "This is what we're going to have: a video game villain
Mhm.
who's trying to be good because he's tired of being
Yeah.
bad."
Yeah.
Design. We have the main antagonist.
The
We have the protagonist.
Themes,
Right,
sort of,
and so here's what we're looking
loose.
at.
It seems very fun, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Just go do
A
this.
very fun prompt to
Like,
start.
okay,
Was this Ralph?
I'm thinking so, right?
He's on the
look,
trash.
right.
fucking
So
bin
he's
when
just
he-
this kind of the monstrous looking creature,
Aw, they had that from the get-go.
right? So I mean, this bulky,
It's very different from what we wound up getting.
Uh-huh.
Except
Think
for
we've got the eyebrow.
overall. Yeah, that eyebrows and the large broad shoulders.
And
really,
here, what are we
can't speak
focusing on?
English.
We're just getting that feeling, right? We're just
Yeah.
getting the overall.
He was more like a fighting game character here. Am I mistaken? I mean, look at those cuffs.
Yeah.
Doesn't fit the theme of the other one, that's for sure.
I think they're going more Donkey Kong-ish,
yeah.
but they still did. So
And
here we go with
Felix
some Felix.
getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can totally see it. I would have been very, very upset if they went with the first design.
I think they had to. Well, you also had, who Felix was.
What's his name?
Jack McBriar.
I never remember the last name of Jack. They all
Kevin.
went together. Yes.
From 30 Rock.
Yes.
So
it's just him. It's just him in cartoon character.
Right.
form.
It's just him in cartoon.
And I love it. Every character that guy plays is awesome.
I think this one right here at the bottom pretty much captures the. Good luck. Pretty much captures the.
Mind your business.
Wow. You're just gonna step right into the studio and just interrupt us, huh?
Stealing our coffee.
Wow.
At that.
My gosh.
Thief. It's just got caramel.
Just because you own the network doesn't mean that she gives you the right to come in here.
She's
to
Starbucks.
She does. Oh my gosh, how much caramel did you put in that?
Mind your business.
So I think this bottom one here looks more like Felix.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it has that friendly. Hi, or this top one.
That's got his
These two.
hairstyle. Jack's, whatever his last name was, it looks like him.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken? It's just him, but caricature.
And I think they're designing this before they get the voice.
You think so?
I think so.
So what if he was casted based on?
Well, I think to a certain extent, yes, but also to a certain extent, I think it's like, okay, here we haven't casted the voice, but we want to get an overall feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the overall feeling that we need to get. Okay, here's the overall feeling. Now we've got the voice actor. Now we hear him act it out. Now we can
Lean it
pinpoint,
towards,
right?
yeah.
And again, this is also in three dimensions,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
It's easy to forget that. I
Right.
mean,
and yes,
whoa,
okay, very 50s style look
so different.
to it, right? And more Felix.
So much Felix. He had goggles.
It looks like they kind of had a hard time trying to really nail down the right look for Felix. This is the Candy King.
Yes, it is.
Obviously.
Well, look at it. He's so simple. This must have been kind of an essence drawing. Like this, there's no way this was going to be a final design, right?
Right, I don't think so.
Look how exaggerated it is. It's just fun, right?
Yeah.
You're getting his whole. Okay,
Yeah,
don't do
that's
that
what-
again.
that's-
I like a chill ran down my spine. But that crown, that hair, the silhouette, it's all great. This was
and now we're getting into more.
storyboard?
This is a storyboard.
Yeah.
This is where we got a little bit of a Ralph.
You got introduced.
He looks
to
a little
the
bit
theme.
like Grunkle Stan.
You can see that.
So, and it's Disney, so it's still the same
Hey,
thing. So
connections.
here we go.
This is
a little
Ralph.
bit more. This is
This is
Ralph.
where they started. Like this is a storyboard
And,
honed on his
here
design.
we're getting Candy King. And Candy King is more
His
of a
little
Mad
guy.
Hatter look.
What was his name? Do you
I
remember the little
Heck no, I didn't like this movie.
gobstopper guy?
No.
Something. It had to have been something. Like it was either a pun on his name or it was just something like Joe. It's one of the two, but I don't know which.
Is it Joe?
Joe.
But of course, he kind of looks like the Mad Hatter.
That was
Right?
intentional.
So absolutely. And there we go, a little bit more Felix.
Mhm.
Okay, so this would have been a weird. This is definitely leading into the Donkey Kong feel.
Oh yeah, look at this.
But is it me? Or is this Ralph and the other one's Felix?
I'm trying to understand. I can't tell.
I would love to pick whoever did this brain, and then you have the concept of
The little town,
Yeah.
the city. It's crazy that this is so detailed. They knew that it was going to be pixel, right?
yeah, right.
They didn't have to go that hard. That's cool.
But they did, and that's why we love them.
Respect.
Right.
Here we are
go.
back with this.
Okay,
guy.
so,
So that
here's-
was Ralph,
so that
right?
was Ralph.
And that's fixed.
That's Felix. All right, and then
This is the
the idea that we're getting the.
city house. with all
I
the
think this is
peoples.
to get the colors right.
Mhm. More.
More-
There's so
this
much.
is getting
Felix.
closer. This is by
Was this-
Daniel Array.
This could have been after they
Arraga.
casted Homeboy. Can you
It could
feel that?
be, yeah.
I mean, look at the hair.
Yeah, this
The
is more
brows.
Jack McBriar.
that
This is
smile.
Kevin. There's Candy King.
Mm,
Definitely. He looks like some kind of candy. I can't remember what candy he looks like,
I'm sure you're right.
but there's something familiar.
Give
to
us
him
your
about that.
best theories in the comments.
So Penelope looked like she was kind of.
I always loved Vanellope, but only for her design. I hated her in the film. Like I remember when we went to go see it in the theater. I had a cup with her on it. I got to pick. I don't know if they still do that in kids' movies or not, but
what?
the cap of my cup had a little figurine of her, and because I loved her design. But when I saw her in the film, I could not have liked her less. I swear, She was such a brat.
Voiced by
I
Sarah
like her
Silverman.
now. I like her. Yeah, she has a good voice, I guess. But I
Sometimes
like her
Sarah Silverman's funny,
now.
sometimes she's not. That's all it is. Here we get the video game, which is very stern, complete opposite of what.
This is Sergeant Calhoun's.
Yes.
I just learned her name again. Sorry,
Yep.
I'm just gonna use it all over now.
I guess this is going to be like Penelope's bike.
Yeah, this must have been Penelope's bike.
More Ralph.
Wow, when did they finalize this design?
I guess they decided with Ralph that.
There's her cardigan. It was a pie?
Yeah.
Or was this maybe one of the other racers? I mean, it looks kind of messy.
Oh my
there she is.
gosh.
The licorice. Wow.
They were definitely trying to keep the Sarah Silverman look.
Yeah, you can see that. The brows.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and then
And he's T-posing on the haters.
Oh yeah, catching that atmosphere.
Another cart.
Oh,
Yeah, this
candy
must have been
corn.
for the other racers, which
Yeah.
I loved. Sugar Rush. Oh my gosh. Just another part of the movie I loved.
And getting into that more
Mhm.
Felix.
More
There's
Felix,
more
more
Felix.
Felix.
Closer.
We keep getting closer to
What
the
is
final
going on
scene.
here? Oh, this might not be Ralph, right? This might be one of the. I don't know.
I'm thinking
what
this is Ralph in the army.
Oh, okay. Well, I wonder how long that went before they
I
decided to start
know,
changing. it.
right?
Look at some of that.
I mean, he looks so different from the city people, and I forgot what they're called. I call them townspeople. And Felix,
the
completely different
atmospheric
character.
design here with the peppermint looking trees.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
It's very gloomy. Here, another one. He had a fro.
And we're getting closer though. We're getting
We
closer.
are. Yes, we are.
And this is probably the closest
This
we
is
had
the
to
final.
Felix.
This has to be the finalized, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Pretty close to
One
it.
of the racers. Whoever. I used to know all of their names. There
Okay.
it is again. I mean, geez, when did they finalize it?
Penelope as a racer. All right. Okay. Cool. So anyway, let's go to this last one here.
Ooh, I forgot what
Which-
the last one was.
Ah, you did?
Think
Well,
so.
we kind of looked at the production last week.
Oh, of course, we saved this one for last.
Now I kind of wonder.
And of course, I would forget it. I was the one who mentioned it. That's just so
So,
typical.
of course, if you don't know, this is the Fifth Element. We talked about when we were going to go ahead and visit the concept art.
This is what got me started on the concept art thing. Was I
Right.
remember catching catching my eye to begin with, and you know the artist behind most of these, right? Or at least some of the.
Well, Mobius was some of it.
Yeah, his name's on it, like on the folder.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
It has to be.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah,
then he
it does make
forgot that
sense.
he did it and tried to sue him.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that
So-
story.
But I guess that just shows you how much work Mobius was getting. Whatever, man. But I think I wanted to show the stones first on here because I think in essence this is your template for the rest of the film.
Mm.
Right? We're getting this is fire, wind, water, earth.
And wind and water are just the same.
Oh
thing,
wow!
but
You know
one
what? I didn't
fire.
even realize the names were underneath them.
Wait, you didn't?
No.
Why do you remember this?
Well, because it looks like fire, it looks like wind, it looks like water, and it looks like earth.
That looks like. Oh, I guess so.
So
Fair, you win. Simplistic but effective.
right, absolutely. Well, that's all it needed to be, right? Well, I mean, you think in ancient civilization, these are keys.
Yeah.
So you're trying to make them look like keys.
Yeah.
In essence, right? Just like the ridges of a key. So, and that's what I'm thinking that they went with. So I'm going to X this out
You're
real quick.
such a nerd for remembering like the order, though.
I'm just looking at it. That's all.
You examine too much. Show off.
So this has to be the ship at the beginning that they were going for.
Oh wow. The little hood, yeah.
Yeah. And it's very bright,
Oh yeah.
which is, of course, the Fifth Element. But if you go back and you look, if I'm not mistaken, in the film, it wasn't as bright.
no.
This was very
It
sterile
felt
looking.
muddy.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. It's almost contradictory to the rest of it.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's the pod that she was in, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Not quite.
That's in French.
Oh, is it?
Probably, yes. Well, Luc Besson is French.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Well, remember I told you about this last
I
week.
thought it was just in French because they wanted it to be.
No,
I didn't know
no.
there was a reason.
Well, they were bored and they said, well, let's make this French.
Make it hard to read for other
Yeah,
people
right,
in this
because
video.
that makes sense. So I kind of like this pod, but I don't think that I wonder why they didn't use it, but I think it doesn't really fit the aesthetic of the rest of the film.
No, it doesn't. It's like it's too futuristic. Or it's like more
too-
sterile futuristic.
Yeah, it's too round.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It
like
doesn't feel like the rest of
if
the
you
film.
look at it, I don't know why I'm going to say this. This makes sense, but if you look at the designs, the Fifth Element, it has a cigar feel to it. You know,
it feels
long
like
and round.
those old bulky computers, kind of. It's got like that very.
Yeah,
Is
good
that a
point.
weird? Is it a weird way of looking at it?
No, I think I
And I
that's a
say
good
old as
point.
in the ones you probably grew up with. Shade. Absolutely.
No, they were because home PCs were starting. Whatever.
You're old.
Whatever.
You're old.
Whatever. I remember it.
But that's what it felt like to me, and I think it was very fitting.
And I think here they wanted to showcase her a little bit better.
Much more.
So that's why they kind of very sterile. I think what they ended up going with is a little bit more open and seeing it, but still, it almost has a video game. Like a console feel, right?
Yeah, I can feel that.
I think this is indicative of a lot of the sci-fi stuff that was out before it. You know, like the Alien and things like that, Battlestar Galactica,
How a lot of sci-fi.
Star Wars thing. And I think they ended up moving away from it, which I think was a smart choice. And giving it more color, giving it more,
It's very distinct. It stands out in a lot of, like in the whole sci-fi futuristic genre, it stands out to me. So it comes to memory.
And I guess this is and I think what's interesting about this is, nothing in the Fifth Element was ground level, right?
No.
I don't think anything was really ground level.
No, it never felt
Everything
like
was like, it was almost like they had spent years and centuries building up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
To where everything was pretty much happening.
You were on stairs or you were flying.
Right.
It was always up. Always up.
So, and I think we kind of have an idea. I guess this is kind of the idea for the city.
It looks much cleaner than it
does. And I think that's fine. It's a good concept. I think when they decided to go, I kind of wonder if Luke Besson or somebody went up in New York, and this is speculation. I have no idea. I've never searched it. And
film theory time.
They were up above in a tall building, and they looked straight ahead and saw all the buildings, but not below it, and said, "This is what we want."
Interesting.
Because imagine this: society doesn't build out; it builds up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's what I'm thinking is where it came from.
It fits. It works.
Because this here is a futuristic city. It's pretty okay.
It's a little generic.
It's a common. You have your bridge in the back that still has the New York, the city feel.
This is what you would think when you think New York, like 100,000 years later.
Right.
Maybe a little less.
Right. But so I think it was interesting that they built up all that. And here we go. Look,
this is much closer.
Now we have, and it's a massive, right? If you think about this is a massive concept because there's many layers here, and there's people living in these labs.
There's ground, but you barely see it. It's so far down. Is that even ground?
No.
No,
you never saw ground. In fact, the further you got down, and I think also too, in that concept, also environmentally speaking, it was building above the smog.
Oh yeah.
Because if you remember looking down, it was very hazy, right? So I guess they were kind of building up. Guess it could have been clouds, but I'm thinking it was kind of building up above the smog.
Was this some kind of commentary?
Probably in some sense. Commentary or just natural progression, right?
Hey, we got out of it at least. Right?
Yeah, that's right. They built up.
Always find our way out to, abandon our problems rather than fix them.
Right. I think this is really cool. We carry the scope again.
Oh yeah, the train.
Right. Again, this is not ground level.
No.
This is they're all walking on a walkway, and you can still see on the other side here that they were able to catch her. It was still up. So
we looked at this last time, I believe.
Well, no, there wasn't this picture
but it was
around
around the
because
same
you had the cops on the side of it,
yeah.
right? So,
and
this, of course, is Flossed in Paradise, right? So,
what does this tell us about what's going on?
I think it's a waterfall.
Oh, that's a fun way of looking at it.
And stars.
Oh.
Because here's the palm trees. And it's almost like a coliseum here down at the bottom.
Like an island.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe grapes.
Ooh.
You know, because if you're thinking, okay, Floston Paradise. You got to think paradise. You got to think.
I did. You know, that didn't connect. Maybe it's definitely got to be an island, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's definitely the image they're going for.
That's what I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, like the mountains. Like it looks like
Hawaiian
Island.
Yeah. Very good shape language.
Right.
Very strong.
Absolutely. But then in that, it's also kind of a lumbering feel to it too, right? Like it's just hunkering around in space. Of course, this is above the water, but we know that Floston wasn't above the water. It was actually in space, floating around. So,
well, that tells us more about the name.
Well, if you think about it, it's harder to get scope in space. Mm-hmm. So I think the water might just help us kind of give us a bit of a bigger scope on how big it was.
Nice.
Then of course you have, I don't remember what these things are called.
Don't look at me. I watched the movie one time.
He looks happy, or is he sad? I'm not sure what he is. But
he's got a big old gun.
Mm-hmm.
Is a shot of the train?
I think we see, yes. And wasn't this train running up and down?
I think it was.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
nice. I mean, you would have to, right?
The shots of the city feel very claustrophobic.
So think about this. Okay, yeah, absolutely. But think about this.
Captured that very well.
Well, if claustrophobia means there's a lot and it's crowded, right? So we're getting the crowded feel of the ceiling. But here's this. You've got these massive buildings, right? Okay, an elevator's not going to cut it anymore.
Oh, that's
You're going to have a train.
Stop.
Right? So
because they're building up.
Right, it's an express railway. It would have to.
Yeah.
Right. So in this essence, it shows you this, and it doesn't want you to focus on it, but it puts it there enough because if I'm not mistaken, there's a part where she's walking around the building and you see it go down right next to her.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So it's giving you the scope of how big this place is, how big New York is now.
Busy.
And basically now elevators don't cut it anymore. We have to have express railway trains to go up and down a single building.
They thought so far ahead.
I'm telling you. But and that's all it was. It wasn't to focus on it. It was just to give the impression of how big it was.
Yeah, exactly. It's to the point where you don't even really think about it. You don't give it a second thought until you really start looking into it.
I just thought about it.
Just
now? Just thinking about that, I was like, well, wait a minute. Of course. If you have these huge buildings, they would have. They've got to be 5 miles, 10 miles high, right? Mm-hmm. So how are you going to cover that in an elevator? That would take a long time. You have to have an express train.
Sick. There's one thing I've noticed when we were looking through this concept art is just like how long these people must have been spending on this movie to think of so many details. So many things you don't even notice the first time you watch it.
You know what? I'm kind of curious. I would love to see a behind the scenes making of this.
There has to be one, right?
I don't know.
There usually is.
But I'm not sure if they thought this movie was going to be this big. And of course, I think we never really saw a landing dock except for in Floston Paradise. And that was barely that, really. We saw them on the dock. So this is kind of interesting. I wonder what the story is behind this.
What is this?
This looks like an airport.
Is this air or water?
No, that's air. That's above the clouds.
Air, yeah.
This looks like an airport, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right?
And so, because you see welcome to New York.
Oh.
And it seems on the side. So this is where we're going. I guess they thought maybe they'd have a shot of the airport coming up. And the airport is in the air.
Aww.
So, of course, it would have to be, right? So this looks like, what it looks like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is something that kind of keeps it afloat or whatever, because here's the landing docks. I don't know what they were thinking here. And, of course, the taxis. I love the taxis.
Oh, yeah.
I love the fact that it's just this clunky thing.
It looks
but still
old,
futuristic.
But it's still futuristic. That's the entire movie.
Yeah.
That's the whole essence. And I ranted about it last time, so I won't go on.
Right.
It's part of what makes
the
it so
police
fantastic.
Car. It's just brilliant.
Oh, more shots of the taxi. Right?
Okay, so there's Zorg Corporation. Yeah, it is, but this looks like it almost looks like a longer taxi.
It looks like a better version. Like it looks like an updated version.
Maybe so.
Because his looked much older than that.
Yeah. And of course, here he is, the ship. You got to think about it. You're traveling out in space. Put your butt to sleep. That made sense. It was funny because it was so fantastical yet so practical in its essence.
They only did these crazy things when it made sense.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're gonna fly out into space. Okay, they're going far out in space. All right, no problem. We've seen this in Star Wars. We've seen this in this. So they have hyperspace. No, we just put the bastards to sleep. It's a
very realistic take, to be honest.
No, but I think they had kind of like a hyperspace thing too. So I'm not sure. But and then of course this is again. Here we go. We're just capturing the essence of the lobby. We're not trying to get into detail. We're not trying to get into too much. If you look at the squares at the top right here, they're not really done very well. It's not. But you know what? Nobody cares. Why? Because we get the feeling, right? Did you even notice that up there was not like that?
Not
Did you even notice that was scribble and not
I
stone?
would have noticed that the perspective was imperfect.
Yeah, there's actually a guy on YouTube that does this. So he shows you how he does it and everything. And yeah, it's just it's great. It's great. So what we're showing here is getting that scope. Of course, this is the opera singer. I can't remember what her name. La Diva. The
design differed a little.
Huh?
Design differed a little.
Yeah, but still trying to keep the aquatic. Yeah. I think because it went for a practical effect, I think they needed to dumb it down a little bit.
Probably.
Yeah. But there's still the very essence of her captured, right? Here we go. It's a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Concept art for her.
Very elegant.
Yeah, but again, still keeping with the fish motif in space. Oh yeah, here's their ship.
Nice.
Coming into the pyramids, right?
What do you think this shapeling was just trying to explain? You think it's an animal? It's very bulky, much bulkier than I remember.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at it. I get a centipede feel from it.
It comes downward.
Yeah, it's almost like an L shape, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh, those big old motors.
Yeah.
It's clunky. It's nice. I like this a lot.
Yeah,
it's probably one of my favorite
really
mechanic
cool
designs.
I really like that L shape to it. And of course, I don't think this changed much.
No, this again. I think this is an idea they had from the start.
Yeah.
Like I really think this is one of those things that helped push the environment in their minds.
The aesthetic, yeah.
This is a scene they had already clearly envisioned.
Right, absolutely. I can see that. Here we have a little bit more. And all traffic, turn on radar, turn on. So I think this is a docking station. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. B-type vehicle only.
Huh.
All traffic. So basically they even had ideas for, Michael says, that's cool. Hey, welcome, Mike.
I appreciate your input.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, look.
That's all I'm thinking.
What's
when I'm looking
really
at this.
interesting is, so they didn't even touch on this in the movie, right? Where there was different types of vehicles.
Yeah, no.
But you could see it.
Yeah.
Right? But they didn't touch on. So, but here it's like they're kind of bringing attention to it. You have this, turn B-type vehicle
Again,
only
all
here.
Practical. Like very practical.
And yet it was such a fantastical film.
It was.
And of course, here's again just the overall essence of these guys coming in. I guess is this concept art? No, this looks like this is part of the movie.
Is that a scene?
Looks like it's like behind the scenes.
Yeah, maybe so. Or it's very well drawn.
And here we go with the train again. I think we were really pushing this train in Zorg Industries. More of the taxis, a police car. All right, so we're getting a little bit more into what Lilu's.
Well, what do they call it? Like a tube?
I guess it's a tube. We'll call it tube.
A tube.
Yes, this is Fifth Element concept art.
Yay!
Yeah.
We've been itching to look at this stuff.
Yes, this is the cherry on top.
Too bad Daphne's not in here. Is she on there?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, she's gonna miss it.
But hey, I guess I wonder what this is. This was Zorg's ship, or what was the thought on this? This is a little more streamlined than I think that they wanted to go for. I could see this. This is a fantastic design, regardless of how you look at it.
Well, it's all dangerous.
Right. Yeah.
It's all triangle.
Right. So it's got to be like a Zorg ship,
different.
right?
Yeah.
And there's a little Zorg down there.
Aw.
So I think they still kind of kept that thought behind it. Right. So, but yeah, definitely. I think I can understand why they would. It has a sleekness, but I think I can understand why they wouldn't use it per se. This I think this was by Mobius.
Nice.
This looks like okay. So it was like, is this the police or looks like the airport people?
Yeah.
Something.
It looks like a robot costume I would have made in the 6th grade. And they've even got like the tin tubes.
Yeah. I think that's what another thing too is the practicality really played into it. Police officers. Look, it says right there, you dummy. Police ears.
You're closer to the screen.
I'm talking to
am.
myself. I'm not calling you a dummy.
Okay. Well, I'm used to that. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The one time I stand up for myself, I actually am a dummy.
So here we go. So this looks like, okay, this is again the same their ship. I can't remember what they're called, but
Daphne's not
yeah,
here.
and so it looks like they're coming from somewhere else, from a bigger ship.
Oh yeah,
right. And this is just like
an extension.
This is the tube baby. See, here's the head. It's the tube fetus, and it's like, hello, how are you? Just kind of. So is this like an art review? Yeah, but basically what it is here on Arts.com is we look at different things to try to get inspired to our own art. Yeah.
And just like fangirl, I guess.
Sure, why not?
It's fun to
understanding concept, understanding what others elements have.
Yeah,
We've been looking at Wreck-It Ralph. We're looking at Guardians of the Galaxy.
A little bit for everybody, but mostly
Iron Man, Matrix. So we're just kind of overall.
Yeah.
So
it's been a fun trip.
Michael DeFonte says this is really interesting tonight, as always. Well, thank you so much. We tried to be interesting.
Fan.
I like this. I like this. This is again Mobius.
The shape language on this.
It's crazy.
It looks like a toy airplane.
Yeah, it does, and it really stands out. So, right, nice. Again, the city. This is now. This has a very Metropolis feel to it. You know, Metropolis, the old movie Metropolis.
I've seen screenshots. I don't know if I've seen the movie. I know it mostly because of the lost media behind it.
Yeah, well, but it has that Metropolis feel to it. But I really got to show you City of Lost Children.
Another movie I have to watch.
Yeah,
he made me watch Dark City.
It's also a Luke Besson film. Yeah, it's the same guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. And it's subtitled. You love subtitles.
I do.
And that's not sarcasm. What's crazy about it is, I'm going to tell you this much. It's all in French, right?
I thought so.
Ron Perlman's in it. Do you know who Ron Perlman is?
I recognize the name.
Hellboy.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, is he French?
No, he's from Brooklyn.
He learned French?
He learned French. So.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's interesting. Is he good at it? Did he learn it for the movie?
Huh?
He learned it for the movie, or he just knew it?
I don't know. I have no idea. It doesn't matter.
He would learn French for a movie.
It's just amazing, right? So, Michael Kotek, forgive me if I get the name wrong. I'm horrible at names. I can't even say mine right. Keith Thompson really got me going years ago. Really cool stuff. Absolutely. We like to, and while I'm mostly a sequential artist, I like to break out. And because I do like character design. I do like concept designs and things like that.
And you're very
to
good
break
at
out.
it.
No, don't give me that.
No, you're very good at it.
Oh, stop it, you big dummy. Don't think you can win me over, you idiot, with telling me how great I am.
Shut up. He's making One Piece references. No, stop.
And of course, I'm going to leave it here. This is one of the best things. This is the first concept art that I saw of Fifth Element.
It's the cover for the folder. It's the most iconic. I think it's the one that comes up on all of the
images. Again, look, in just the layers, if you look behind it, behind him and back here, how deep it is.
So great.
Up here, you see how far down they are. You see how far up they are. It's just mid, right? She's falling, and the raccoon doesn't even know what the fuck it's doing.
That's a raccoon?
Yes.
There's a raccoon.
There's a raccoon. What is a raccoon?
Wait, what?
What do they say? Okay, we're not going to have a raccoon in this. Cut the raccoon. Raccoon doesn't work. I think it would work.
There was a rocket cameo.
There was a rocket cameo.
I didn't know. I've looked at this picture at least 11 times in the past week, and I never noticed
that raccoon's like, what the fuck is this lady walking, falling from the sky about?
Maybe she killed it. I mean, look where she's about to land, bro.
Your mother says, no, it's my weird ass family discussing concepts. Oh well. Yeah.
She's so supportive. She loves us so much.
I'd be interested to know. Kutek Mike says, "I'd be interested to know what other costume designs they had for Lilu." I don't know if we have any.
Oh man, I wish they had some of that. See, one thing.
No, we've gone in circles.
Yeah.
So this is obviously not it. This was on. If you want to check it out, this is on www.iamag.co, and
it has a lot of classes and it has folders for different artists who's worked on films and just like in general.
Yeah. So
very, very helpful site.
So
I'm so glad I found it in this search.
Absolutely. I'm glad you found it, especially for tonight.
But on that note of the costume design, that is something that I wanted to see more from this concept art, is that we didn't get much in the character designs. I mean, like, we got Spider-Verse and we got Wreck-It Ralph, mostly the cartoons, but I wanted to see different costumes. I wanted to see different, like, designs, or even maybe actors that would have been casted in. I just wanted to see more of that in the character direction. I love the scenery.
Right.
I love that stuff. But I'm a sucker for character design build-up. That is one of my favorite things, seeing beta designs. And I didn't get a lot of that.
What would be interesting, maybe that's something we need to take in consideration. Next week, we've decided that we're going to have a concept character art off. In a sense, you're going to find some character art that is... No, you're not going to do it.
Damn it. Okay, continue.
Not this time. We'll come up with a concept and we'll have a challenge where we'll come up with a concept to do. You do the cast and I'll do the cast and we'll see what we come up with. But next week, you're going to find a whole bunch of character designs that you like. I'm going to find character designs that I like.
Oh, right.
And we're going to go over them and take a look and see,
I also
right?
helped come up with this idea and I've already forgotten it. Maybe I am a dummy.
That should be fun. We're going to look at other people's character designs and, hey, if you know some people, throw them out there.
Them out right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Put it in the comments.
We'll
even if you're not watching this live, you can always like, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon. If you don't catch us live, come back and watch the replay. I keep my eye out on the comments. I'll try to comment when you comment, and just throw us some names. It'd be interesting to check out some more character designers out there.
Yeah,
that would be really cool to feature. People who don't get enough credit. There's a lot of great character designers out there.
Yes.
So with that, guys, we're almost approaching 2-hour mark. I'm not going to go all the way to 2 hours. I have a prior engagement I have to be. But Jaden, where can we find you?
On Facebook under Jaden Lanning, where my parents are my best supporters. And Daphne Lee.
I always leave a like.
And Daphne Lee.
And Daphne. She's kind of like a second mom.
What the fuck?
Okay, for a first mom. How's that? Is that better?
Wow.
And of course, if you like to look at anything that I do, of course, I'm landingart.com. That's LANNING art.com. Which you can also find my socials, Facebook, Instagram. I am on Threads. That's not connected there, but check it out on Threads. I'm trying to get it built up over there. I haven't given up on Instagram. I haven't. Sorry.
Oh God, I have.
I haven't. Because I'm seeing some people flooding back over there. Again, I think I see a lot of character concept art.
The only way I'd use Instagram is to collect my art. I would not use it as a social media platform. It would just be a gallery, essentially.
Instagram's bullshit.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, baby.
She's so supportive.
Y'all suck. Anyway, you can follow me. If you don't follow anybody on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram, and I'll probably
if you have
follow
Instagram.
you back.
Ooh.
Wow.
Sorry.
Y'all just insane. So with that, we hope you have a great art-filled week.
Oh yeah, bravo.
Be inspired. And if you find any more concept art, shoot it our way, because this will not be the last time that we address concept art.
No, it won't.
Nope.
Ever.
So anyway, again, we have great shows right here on the IndieComicsNetwork.com. We have Thursday Night Throwdown with Rodney Fike. We have in the morning it's Sunday Funnies with Randy Zimmerman of Arrow Comics. And then, of course, the vlogs on Monday and Friday with Daphne and Nita. And other things during various things during the week. We're
going to have to start writing these down.
Absolutely. And and Art Style Kamikaze is overcompensating things, so I'll probably pop in with draw stream here and there. So Mike says night. Say night.
Good night. Good night, Michael. I'll tuck you in.
Until next week, guys. Good night.
Good night.
You have been watching Art Style Kamikaze. If you have experienced headaches, bleeding, or a pleasurable euphoria, please consult a physician. unless you like that kind of thing.